Because like in the Caribbean, some of us start playing cricket from a big age, like from 15, 16. We're in India. They have like from 6, 7, they're already stroking it, good technique. So it's, it's a slight of difference between India and the Caribbean, but it's a work in progress for us. And, hopefully we can, get back to, the great West Indies.
I mean, I personally started stroking at about 12.
Yes.
But that's when I discovered myself. And by the way, you, I'm sure, still get hate from RCB fans because of what you did to them.
A little bit, yeah. But lots of love from the Sunrisers Hyderabad fans. Back home in Brisbane, where I
I remember that game.
Yeah.
I didn't play it that year, but I can remember that year I was back in RCB. When I saw that catch, I actually turned off my TV. I can never forget. That's how I actually know about Ben cutting. I was like, so he fall down, then he gets up back, and I'm like, this is it.
Hey there, I'm very excited. I'm in Canada. This trip has taken 2 months to finally happen. Very excited to be here. It's a lot of jugaduness where you're trying to figure out which player is free and coordinating with 60 different players and commentators and stuff like that. I'm very excited about it. It's been a lot of fun. So there's going to be a lot of cricketing content. So if you're a cricket fan, you're in for a lot of fun. If you're not a cricket fan, just wait. More stuff will come later. Today, I'm very excited to be talking for the first time to the legendary Ben Cutting, who played that crazy knock SRH versus RCB. RCB fans, you can tune out right now because the guy who's coming up is the one who defeated you. We also have Sherfane Rutherford, who I've always found like a very, very good player. He's got a great strike rate, has a nice attitude, and I'm sure he's going to do fantastically well in the future. So talking to both of them because they're here for the T20 Cricket League yeah, there's a lot more stuff coming up. We have Azam Khan, who's the Pakistani cricketer. Lots more people. I don't want to say any names because बहुत coordination chalu hai abhi. Somebody will come. Lots of people will come. So keep tuning in and join our Telegram group for early releases wherever I can do them because we are going to record anything between 7 to 14 episodes. Also, I'm doing a show in Toronto on 3rd of August. So please come see me there. If you're in Toronto, the ticket link will be in the description. Thanks for watching. Subscribe now. Over to my conversation with Ben Cutting and Sherfane Rutherford. Enjoy. All right, welcome to, I don't know the name of the show just yet. We'll figure it out slowly. It's first the second episode of the GT20 where we're going to have excitement talking to a bunch of cricketers. Took me 41 hours to get here and I'm excited to be here finally. 2-hour delay because my flight got taken to Ottawa. Excitement, yes! Very happy to have two stalwarts of the T20 game. 209 T20s, is that what it is?
You tell me, I'm not sure.
I googled it right now. So
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And you are 98. That's
29.
Oh my God, you have 100. That's coming up right now. Is that the one day after tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Awesome. So, did you imagine, because the numbers are sizable, to play 209 T20s and then 98 as a younger cricketer? Hey, I'm sorry.
I think now it's kind of easier to play a lot if you play in T20 because there's so much of cricket now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a bit easier now to play much if you're in the circuit.
Yeah.
So I guess.
Do you enjoy the travel? Have you figured out a way to like assimilate to the travel that you just land and you're straight in?
Nah.
That's the way.
Nah. That's the one problem, traveling.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can teleport soon.
That's the expectation. I think Elon Musk needs to get his act together and drop all this shit about going to Mars. Teleportation is the key. And why should we do it? Because we want more T20s.
Yes, yeah. More T20s.
What about you, Ben? Do you enjoy the travel? Have you figured out a way to stay sane through the whole process of going across time zones, etc.?
I'll stay sane, but there's no easy fix for for jet lag, for time in aeroplanes, and quite often you fly into tournaments like this and you're on the ground, you're playing 2 days later, so it takes its toll on your body.
Yeah.
So you've got to be really prepared before you leave and know exactly what your processes are when you land to be able to get up and running. Doesn't always work as well as some tournaments you rock up, you might have a few bits and pieces from the flight, but that's the nature of freelance cricket now.
I mean, as a comedian, I have the very simple option of just getting drunk on the flight. I assume that's not something you guys can do. The show completely saucy.
That's the opposite effect for us. I'm sure a few boys do.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that legendary. What is it? David Boone's record was with 73 beers across a transatlantic flight or whatever.
From Australia to England, yeah. I can't remember what the number was, but there's a lot of cans involved.
Yeah. I think now it's become more about like let's have some juices and
Yeah.
get it flowing. Okay, we have a lot to talk about. Sherfane, you were in RCB. How was the vibes? And what's it like in the dressing room with all these? I think the three people like Faf du Plessis, AB de Villiers, of course, and Virat Kohli across all these years have been the number of fan pages about them, I think, almost equal to the fan pages of Dhoni. So what is it like to be in that dressing room with all this hype and insanity?
I mean, it's always good to share a dressing room with new players, especially with Virat, Maxwell.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't play with A because he wasn't there, but
Yeah.
I mean, Virat alone speaks a lot for RCB. I mean, he's a face, and yeah, it's good. Watching at him doing his stuff, try to learn, pick his brain. But I mean, yeah, I'm a humble person too, so I try to sit back and watch him rather than approach him. So I try to learn everything from looking at him
Yeah.
rather than approaching him.
It's been an interesting time for you with the IPL because you played 10 games over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of waiting and watching. So I'm sure there's a lot, as you said, assimilating and learning and all that kind of stuff. So what do you tell yourself to go like, hey, listen, when my time comes, I'm going to just destroy everything. How does it work?
Well, I try to keep it simple. It's not easy being there when you're not playing, especially for such a long period. So I try to do as much as work I can, gym, just to keep myself active, gym, go to training. But yeah, I mean, that's how it goes. Playing is not in my control.
Yeah.
So I just, sometimes the opportunity comes, I haven't taken it, but it haven't been much. So I guess I was unlucky not to take the few I had.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've always looked forward to seeing you. It's always because you always have a smile on your face. I'm like, hey, this guy, he should do something. So yeah. But between you both, okay, I was trying to figure out this the number of teams you played for at the IPL. And again, I'm focusing on the IPL because as an Indian, that's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
Basically, what they want to hear you say is that Dhoni is the greatest of all time. Virat Kohli has beautiful abs. He's the prettiest human being that's ever lived, and that's what we need in life. So between the two of you, who do you think has played for more IPL teams? Like the numbers are great. Like, do you know how many IPL teams you played for?
I've been involved in 8 seasons, but I didn't play every season.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you're counting them.
Okay, so now this is complicated. How many times have you been selected to play?
I played for. Do you want the answer now?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who do you think between the two of you has played for the most number of teams?
I played for 4 in 4 years.
Yeah.
I had 4 different teams: Mumbai, Delhi,
Yeah.
Sunrisers, RCB.
Yeah. RCB. What about you?
I think he's got me by 1.
Yeah.
No, we're the same.
No. Yeah.
4.
Oh no, you're ahead because you did Kings XI Punjab.
But we didn't play.
Yeah, but you got selected.
No.
But you were there in the team.
I was there in the team, yeah, but I wasn't in the playing 11. So I don't know if you're counting that or not.
I'm counting that. I think I'm just changing the rules as we go on. This very stupid game.
It's been a few then. Yeah, it's been a few.
I think it's 5 as my calculations and maybe more. Well, okay, I can ask you, does the name of the team make any difference? Because Kings XI Punjab has still got to be one of the most atrocious names for a team I've ever heard, because the 11 is sandwiched between the Kings and the Punjab, and you're like, how many things do you need to squeeze into a name? So does that ever factor in? Do you ever ask like, hey, why is this name called this?
No, because you don't really think about it like that, because you're just so grateful to be firstly get picked up in the auction and go to the IPL and just be there, that you don't even think about those sort of things, because there are far greater things on your mind, like performances, playing, selection, conditions, learning from some of the greats, like Russel said before, in the change rooms you're with.
Yeah, and by the way, you I'm sure still get hate from RCB fans because of what you did to them.
A little bit, yeah. But lots of love from the Sunrisers Hyderabad fans. Back home in Brisbane, where I live.
remember that game.
Yeah.
I didn't play it that year, but I can remember that year I was back in RCB. When I saw that catch, I actually turned off my TV. I can never forget. That's how I actually know about Ben Cutting. I was like, so he fall down, then he gets up back, and I'm like, this is it. Because I always wanted them to win.
Yeah.
It's a team that always have great players, Gayle, AB, but they never won. So that year I was like, win. And I know if AB was there, but when I saw the catch, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. At this point is where I'm going to pan the camera to Ben Cutting and put things under it saying, this is the culprit. Target abuse. No, I mean, that's a great match for you. It was two wickets and 39 and 15. It was. I was seeing the scorecard again. I remember seeing the match again. Was that the one of the high points of your career with that particular win? Because you were the deciding factor between the two teams.
100% for me. That was I hadn't played a lot of IPL cricket at that point in time. I've been to India quite a few times, but not played a lot. So for me, that was probably more important and more, happy for me than playing for Australia or making my debut for Australia, because it signified for me personally that I could mix it with, guys like Ruthers and everyone else on that big stage, which was important.
Yeah. Well, what about you? What has been one of the performances where you've gone like? I mean, you had a lot in the PSL as well. What is one of the performances where you're like, that's the one?
My best performance in IPL.
Or just generally across the board, across T20 cricket or.
So my first year Canada League, I scored 134 of 60 balls against Vancouver. So that was my best innings. That was the highlight of me. That actually kept me going around.
Oh wow, yeah, I remember that. I remember because I think your name started popping up even more after that.
Yeah, so that one innings actually,
Oh, so I mean, I like how we nicely tied it into the Canadian League, which I was going to get to at some stage. But it's been an interesting time for Test cricket right now. Australia finally found the answer to Bazball is rain. Which I thought was a good answer. Are you following the Ashes at all? I'm sure it's as a completely person who's not invested in it at all. I'm still constantly like the Ashes is probably pivotal until India and Pakistan play Test cricket together. What have you thought of what's happened so far?
No, I've loved it. Like I'm not a big long format cricket watcher or Test cricket watcher, but I haven't really missed too much of the Ashes. Particularly the time frame here in Canada. Watching that most recent Test, I know the rain came and ruined it for everyone, but up until then it was very exciting to watch.
Yeah. The rain's everywhere. West Indies versus India, same situation.
Yeah, I saw this rain with West Indies and India.
Yeah.
So. But I watch the Ashes as well. I follow the Ashes because it starts 6 in the morning, so it's like normal wake-up time. So I've been following every part of it. Not a big Test cricket fan.
Yeah.
So, but the atmosphere, the way how the England fans are going and Australia have the few fans. It's just the atmosphere and the excitement is what I love about the Ashes. But yeah, it's excited. I wish there was some sun. I know Ben Cutting mightn't like to hear that, but just to see the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, I just want to see good cricket.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who win. I just want to see good cricket, so...
It was just great. And also, there's still a great hook to Australia losing. I'm sorry. Like, yes. I think now the across national sides, I think South Africa has been trying to project themselves as, I won't say the villains, but like the antagonists of cricket globally, where they're just constantly needling everybody. I'm like, yes, it's great. But a lot of talk has been happening about West Indies cricket right now and the not being able to qualify for the World Cup and all of that. So as a player, what do you do in that particular situation? Do you just keep going like, hey, we just got to keep at it, or what's?
You can't blame the players much.
Yeah.
The players could only do certain amount. It have to start from where the foundation is. So if there's not a good foundation, definitely you can expect the players to do as much as they can. So there's work in progress, but I'm from the West Indies, so I'm going to always support, I'm going to always hope that things change, things get better. But for now, there's a work in progress. There's a lot of talent, but just that not a lot of resources and not a lot of help. So in India, I admire India cricket because, they always have a few younger players that stand out, like Chapman, Gayle, you have Pant. Those guys are like 23, 24, but the way how they perform, it's different level to us in the Caribbean. So it shows that, there are a lot of work to be done for us. And for them, it's kind of like good foundation from young. Because like in the Caribbean, some of us start playing cricket from a big age, like from 15, 16. We're in India. They have like from 6, 7, they're already stroking it, good technique. So it's a slight of difference between India and the Caribbean, but it's a work in progress for us, and hopefully we can get back to the Great West Indies.
Yeah, I mean, you see the players in isolation. Like this is, I remember there's a bowler who's still around, O'Shane Thomas.
Yeah.
I used to love seeing them just run. I remember that match against Pakistan where he just bounced everybody out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's a joy to watch, man.
So I mean, it's work in progress.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, not much fault of the players. The players can only do certain amount, but then you need someone to help you to go forward. So
I mean, I personally started stroking at about 12.
yes.
But that's when I discovered myself. I think that's good enough. I'd love to talk to you about the most viral video in your career. It's got 21 million views.
Is this the PSL one?
Which one? Yeah, of course. That's the timelines with Sohail Tanvir.
I'll never forget.
There's one in Guyana. You never saw the guy.
Oh, what is the Guyana one? I haven't seen that one.
Similar.
Well,
But just that he gets some mark this time.
It's a 4-year revenge, right? Is that
It is, yeah. Yeah. So Ruthers was there, PSL with me.
Yeah.
When that happened, but I think it was 2018.
Yeah, the Guyana leg, I was playing with Guyana with Tanvir that year. when it all starts.
Oh, it started in Guyana and then oh my god. And then, I thought it was all in the PSL for 4 years.
No, it started in Guyana.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I'll give the timelines for a lot of viewers who may not know what happened. So in 2018, now we just filed Guyana playing against you, and Sohail Tanvir got you out, and he used a particular finger to indicate that, hey, see you later.
So I'd hit him for 6 the ball before, back over his head. First ball I face thrown. And the next ball, stumps everywhere. And I'm walking off and he's giving me that one. And I know he's gone out and said that he went and apologised to me and all that sort of stuff. I never seen him. I never saw him at all. There was none of that. So, over the years, he's been quite tough. I've only faced him a couple of times at PSL in between 2018 and last year when it happened.
Yeah.
And I could never hit him off the square because the conditions always really suited him. He was bowling really quite quick, as he was always a good bowler. But then, last year at PSL, I got the better of him, and I let him know because I didn't forget. And I remember dishing that up, but then also walking down the wicket after him, basically just chipping him. I don't know if he could hear me or not, but I enjoyed it, to be fair. I got a match fee, so I wouldn't recommend it for kids out there, but it was worth the fine.
And I think the videos, like there's about 9 different videos saying the 4-year revenge.
I've seen it as a gift now. So anytime my wife says something text me something I don't like, I just send a gift to them.
That's a great gift. Your wife interviewed him as well after, I think, one of the matches or something like that. That's another video. That's
Potentially, yeah.
But certainly, I mean, also a fantastic bowler with the wrong leg and all of that to watch. I remember against India, he was also, I think those 2 sixes he hit critically and beat us in one of the matches. So, so good things all around. As a neutral observer, I would love to know what occurs on the field, right? I'm sure the adrenaline and all of that stuff is a different thing. I absolutely enjoy it. Has there ever been a point where you're like, oh, this is going a little too far?
Well, for me, I don't say anything.
Yeah.
Even if someone curses me, I just don't say anything. So for me, I'm not. I lose a lot of money from hitting my stuff, but not from saying anything.
From hitting your stuff?
Yeah. So like when I always hit something. I always throw something. So
get out of the change rooms when Ruthers is coming.
Yeah. Like last year, CPL, I out and I throw my helmet. I lost 10,000.
Whoa. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's more than Djokovic was fined for hitting the nets.
Yeah, so I just out and while I go in, I shine my helmet, 10,000.
Oh wow.
So
that's
yeah, but the talking, I'm not gonna talk.
So here's my question: who pays these fines? Do you have to personally pay them, or
yes?
It comes out of your retainer usually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So you doesn't have a choice by saying you're not gonna pay because they pay you, so they just take it out.
I thought the whole team chips in is like, hey, thanks for you.
I wish it was. I should.
And what about you? How much did you get fined? Like, what was the?
I think it was 20% of my match fee. I can't remember what the amount was.
Yeah.
But it just came out of my retainer at the end of the tournament. Yeah.
So
But
10% per finger is the rule, yeah.
pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it's worth it. Do it again.
That was one of those moments where I'm like, this is, and also Sohail Tanvir, I mean, all due respect, the first time when he did that, I was like, hey, he looks cool. He looked cool when he did it. Like, because it was very like,
No, the first time I saw it,
yeah.
I was like, is that allowed? Because it was my first year playing CPL. So I'm like, is that allowed? And then I haven't saw anything. Because obviously in Guyana, he's playing for Guyana, and the Guyana fans are crazy. So that's going to always cover down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I haven't seen it back. So I'm like, I guess that's fine. I guess it was okay in Guyana because it's.
Listen, I was going through, I mean, just to talk about Guyana for a second, okay? I was trying to figure out this, and this is blatantly stolen from one of my favorite YouTubers, Ozzyman, about Guyana slang. And some of the slang that you have is great. Like, okay, there's a few which I'm like, this is fairly predictable. But I'm sure you know, and I might be getting it wrong, by the way. So I just Googled this and found this out. Okay, so Ben, what is a kaka hole? What do you think that could be? Is that
Can't imagine it's anything nice. It's not a compliment.
definitely not.
It's a phrase like if you're doing something weird,
Yeah.
or like if you try to do something weird, someone be like, you cockhole. I mean, I don't know what exactly a cockhole mean, but that's the phrase I use.
Yeah.
Probably try to describe you as.
Yeah, yeah. It means anus is that's what I. There's a lot, and then the number of names, like as an Indian, right? We have multiple names for the specific body parts, and then I started with the guy and he's
Yeah.
like,
In Guyana, it's weird. It's Guyana. For me, Guyana is very exciting. It's not like it doesn't have beaches for like tourists, but like if you are a local,
yeah.
it's good.
So as an Indian, right? Nani means my my maternal grandmother, and in Guyanese slang it means
It means something. So in Guyana, I think people just use slang and then it just travels so fast. Like in Guyana, anything you do or say, it meets on the internet. And that's when everyone takes it and it becomes a norm.
Yeah, okay.
So you can make a word up today and then from 2 weeks, next 2 weeks,
Yeah.
it's all over.
Oh wow. So what would Sherfane be if you were to start a slang about your own name?
It's gonna,
The the clean man.
it's gonna travel.
Okay, we'll do a couple of more things about, of course, we're here for the GT20, which is happening in Toronto, in Brampton, actually. You've been here before. This is your first time, or you've been here. Sorry, I've honestly started getting into the GT20 this year, like towards the end of the pandemic. So how's the whole vibes? It seems like a very laid back, chilled out tournament where there's never been any fights at the GT20 as far as I know. So it's very nice. So what are the vibes across the board for the GT20 for you?
From looking or from being here, it's very relaxed.
Yeah.
Most of the guys seems comfortable. I mean, there's no rivalry. Well, not that I saw in the tournament. So, I mean, Benny is good. So then, I mean, the tournament. the tournament is cool.
Have you had anybody try and induce you to, like, has anybody tried to provoke you, like?
No, but I wish they would, because I missed that stuff. That was one of the things I missed about playing first-class cricket, is there was quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
So I missed that from time to time, but you don't really get that in the freelance circuit because you're always playing with guys. Like I might be playing against Ruthers, in a couple of days' time, and I'll be playing with him in the next tournament. So you get to know guys a lot better.
True.
Yeah.
With franchise cricket, you get to know a lot of players because I play with them at PSL.
Yeah.
So now we're playing against each other. So most of the guys know each other. Like I come from the ILT, the T20. I know Monroe. I know a lot of players from playing the ILT. I go to PSL. I know a lot of Pakistani players. So
yeah,
the vibes is always good, even though you play against each other. Even yesterday I was batting. I played one shot and Azam Khan was telling me to, you could have played it there. So everyone is good.
That's a very positive sledge. It's like, yeah, you did well, but you could do better. And what about like, have you both are pretty much touring across the year, across multiple tournaments and playing all of this. I want to know, have you played the T10 yet?
Yes.
How was the vibes there? Is it, do they bring the boundary in, or?
It feels like it when you're bowling. No, I've played the last couple of years of T10. I missed the years during COVID.
Yeah.
A couple of years before that, and then since COVID. You know, we first couple were in Sharjah, and then off to Abu Dhabi from there. And I think brothers have been playing it as well. It's awesome. It's a great tournament.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, it's short, so I mean, not much time. So if you just go, not much to think about. You just go and free up. You swing. You make duck. You make how much? You just okay. It's T10. Get it off. I think it's a very relaxed tournament because you know you don't have anything to worry about. If you bowl 1 over for 40, then it's fine. You go back and bat. You can hit someone for 40 or 30, then.
Yeah.
So.
It's a free, like free your mind.
Yeah, it's just a free your mind.
Yeah. What about you as a bowler versus a batter? I'm sure when you see a thing like T10, you're like, yeah, I'll see. One of them I'll okay, there's also another great story of yours, which is about you dropping the catch and where you where it hit your face.
Yep.
Okay, I'm now, as somebody who this is probably, hopefully never going to happen to. I mean, though there's time for this tournament, what does it feel like to get your face busted open by a cricket ball?
It hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurt. I actually thought I caught the ball. Yeah. But I sort of pushed it up when I was lying on my back because I thought that Majid was coming in close and I didn't know that I had enough control of it.
Yeah.
So I tried to push it up. But with all the blood in my eyes and everything else happening, I pushed it the wrong way. So they called it no catch.
Yeah.
But I ended up going into the change rooms. I got 8 stitches between my eyebrows.
Yeah.
And I remember having a towel on my head, and Dan Vittori, who was coach at the time, came in to check on me because they wanted to see if they needed to replace me under the concussion rule.
Right.
And I took the towel off and I just smiled at him. And the 2 bits of skin between my eyes just went flopped open like that. And his face just went pale and he had to leave the room. But got stitched up and got back out there a couple of overs later.
Oh, you did? Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, because I mean, that's like the third eye opening up. This is spiritual.
Pretty much, yeah. But an inch either way, up, down, left or right, it was one of the eyes, one of the nose or teeth. So I was pretty lucky in the end, to be fair.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because Azam Khan is I think he was talking about dealing with fast bowlers, and he said something like, I used to look at the MMA, I think that these people are dealing with way more. And I'm like, no, but the cricket ball is also hard.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Do you ever find yourself in the midst of playing where you're like, oh, this is risky business? Like, especially if somebody's smashing it all over the place and you're either close in or too close, or somebody's bowling crazy fast to you.
Sometimes. Like 1 year I was in PSL and I was batting Iris Ralph.
Yeah, oh.
And he bowled me a bouncer and I asked myself, I'm like, am I in the right sport? It was so fast. And I was hoping that he doesn't hit me. So I'm like, I just tell myself that the next ball I'm just going to go hard. So it's either you out me or I come off strike. So I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm just going to go hard. I'm like, am I too close or is the wickets is too close? Because he was bowling very fast. And I'm like, it's okay. I get over that. I'm like, okay.
So what happened in the next ball?
So I got a signal. I tried to hit him and I got a signal and I'm like, okay. I can watch from...
Stay on the other end.
I can enjoy it from here.
So the PSL is, of course, like every year the PSL happens and like 9 new fast bowlers are discovered in the Pakistan team.
There's so much.
Yes, it's a lot, but it's like one guy's bowling like, I think he's here also.
Zaman.
Yeah, Zaman, yeah. Okay, so I want to ask you the critical question. PSL versus IPL. Let's bear in mind what Dale Steyn said and what happened. Like Dale Steyn said something, I think, where he said... PSL is more about the cricket, but the IPL fans were like, so I'm saying, irrespective of whoever you talk about, but here we are to try and create some controversy. So what are the differences you find between playing the PSL versus playing the IPL?
I mean, I'm not comparing, but the difference with IPL is that it have more of quality international overseas. And even the locals are very good. So that's what makes it very competitive. PSL is good. I mean, I played PSL, it's good. I'm not comparing. So, but I mean, I'm a franchise cricketer. So I played a lot of franchise cricket, so I'm not criticizing. They are both good.
Wow, this is, Sherfane is going to trend in Guyana as a diplomacy.
It's both good. I'm not gonna compare.
Okay, so I'll ask you this question: like, what is the league which you were surprised by, where you're like, oh, this is actually really entertaining? Like, honestly, the GT20 is something, again, as I said, I used to keep seeing clips of it on IG, and then I started watching the matches. I'm like, hey, this is as fun as any other league if you're into it. So, was there any particular league that you were surprised by?
I think my first time at PSL, because I'd played so many years of IPL and a few other tournaments like CPL and whatnot, but I'd always watch PSL from afar because it always clashed with their domestic season back in Australia.
Right.
So when I finally got there, every team's got 3 or 4 guys that bowl 150k an hour. They just grow on trees, like you're saying before. Yeah, there's new guys every year.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, the standard of the PSL is exceptional. But I think the IPL, like Ruthers was saying, that there is an actual set window for it in the international calendar. So the best international players can get there, whereas PSL at the moment doesn't have that luxury because it tends to clash with international cricket or other domestic cricket. So I think they'll get there. I love both the tournaments just as much as each other.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate both of you giving me so much time. And just to tell everybody watching, there's going to be a lot more podcasts coming in from the GT20. And follow Sherfane and
Ben.
I want to do this.
That bloke's name.
You need that here.
I wanted to do this video with Brathwaite, where I was like, hey, sorry, what's your name? Remember the name keeps popping up with it's very dumb. Ben Cutting and Sherfane Rutherford, thanks a lot for your time. Really appreciate it. You've been very kind and generous. And have a good GT20. And tomorrow, you guys played each other already, or it's tomorrow?
I think
the Surrey versus.
We're tomorrow morning.
We're in the afternoon, so
Oh, awesome.
we're gonna pass each other.
As long as I don't have to bowl to him, I'm happy.
Super. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Have a lovely thing.
Thank you.
And for everybody watching, subscribe to the channel. Check out, I'll put Instagram links for both of them. And check out GT20 on IG and YouTube, where they upload full match highlights pretty much 4 hours after the game. Thanks a lot for watching. Love you all. Marry me. Goodbye. That's it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Easy.
Yeah, that was easy. Easy.
You got a few more?
Yeah, I got one with Azam Khan, and then
Yep.
I think I got one with. Trying to figure out who.
Yeah.